Hello. Today I have tip number 5 out of my 20 Tips for Success challenge. And remember to go back and check out tips number 1 through 4 if you haven't already, because each one builds on the next. We're going through a journey together. I want to add to the scheduling tip that I mentioned a couple days ago and say that some of my clients like to, rather than doing specific work hours in a day, they like to have specific actions that they take, a certain number of actions to take. And that way they can fit it into those pockets of times that they find, and they know that they're going to get those things done and then feel good about their time. So maybe that only takes them about 30 minutes in the day. And so they're not, trying to pull out all these other actions for the next 7 or 8 hours or however long people would schedule for. So that can be helpful for you in staying consistent in your business or your job. Either option is just fine as long as you're consistent in getting the work done that you want to get done. So on to tip number 5. A couple days ago, we talked about taking one scary action each day, and I hope that's been going well for you. I know that it can be hard sometimes to make yourself do it. If you've struggled making it happen, or if you ended up chickening out and just bagging the whole idea, then that means that it's time to work on your mindset. So I briefly talked about this in tip number 3's video, but today we can get into it a bit more. So before I complete my scary to-do for the day, which can also be considered a stretch goal because it stretches you out of your comfort zone, but before I do mine, I always do some mindset journaling beforehand just to get myself into the brain space of not only being able to complete this action, but to do it from a place of knowing that I will get the result that I'm looking for by taking this action. So first, I ask myself, what result am I even looking for from doing this scary to do? And then I ask myself how much I believe that I will achieve that result by taking this action. So this helps me with 2 different things. It helps me to see if, first of all, if the action is actually going to get me that result that I'm looking for, or if it's leading to that result. And if it is, then it helps me to, number 2, recognize that the thoughts I have about it may or may not be helping me, and then I can turn around those negative thoughts before taking the action. It's so important to get into this full-on belief mode before you start taking these scary actions, because that way you go about taking them completely differently compared to from the belief that, why am I even doing this? I don't think that it's going to help me. I'm too scared. I'm too chicken, whatever the thoughts may be. So it helps you to get into this frame of mind where you're like, okay, I know this is going to help. I know that I know I can do this, whatever it is that you need to convince yourself of. And then the actions that you take and the vibe that you have is so different. You're not necessarily taking steps from this fear, this place of fear, or I have to get this, I'm going to strangle it until I do get it. Because that's not as, first of all, not as fun to do. Not that everything's going to be fun, but it's nice when they are fun. But also you come from this place of graspiness or intensity that is not always conducive to getting these results that we might be looking for. So once I know what thoughts I have around taking this action, if I'm not 100% convinced that it will be effective, then I go on to my next phase of journaling. So my next phase is that I write out all of the thoughts that a person who has already achieved this result would have about taking this action. So would somebody who already achieved it, what would they think? What would they think about this action and having already taken it? So this almost always works for me to get into future successful me mode. And then I'm completely ready to conquer this scary thing and then do it from a place of confidence and empowerment rather than from fear or dread. I just am putting myself into the future and acting as if I am already that person that I want to be. So I know this is an interesting concept if you haven't actually thought about it before. If you have and you already do this, then that's awesome. That's awesome. Good job. Keep it up. And if you have questions or if you want help with this, then please direct message me or leave me a comment or whatever, because I'm here to help with this kind of stuff. And I'm so happy to speak with you about whatever you're working on and how to get there. So good luck, my friend, in conquering your schedule and the scary to do. And I'll be back on Monday with more tips to share with you. Okay, good luck. Have a good weekend. Bye.